What's up, my beer bros? Beer Maniac here with another live roster update. I went on yesterday, Friday afternoon, and noticed there was a roster update, but it was too late to record and upload a video personally, so I decided to hold it off until today, Saturday. And I wanted to do it a little differently. What we're going to do is, instead of going through all like we normally do, we're going to do pitchers and then hitters. That way, if we run into a long series of pitchers, we don't have to look and be like, oh, nothing really changed kind of thing. Now, what you may notice is there's going to be some players that change teams from recent trades. So just bear in mind, some players have been traded and those moves have been updated. Like, for example, Tyler Clippard is now the Athletics closer or something like that. We start with Luis Castillo, now 68 overall. As you can see, it's not really a good overall per se. I mean, 68 still kind of booty, but his velocity is now 89. His K's now went up 19. His stamina is pretty solid. So if you're looking to start a franchise and you got to control the pitcher and you're actually playing yourself, this guy wouldn't be too bad. I mean, his brake's not that much, but his velocity is really good. His durability is solid. His control's good enough to deal with the minimal brake. His clutch is decent as well. And usually when you're B9 and HR9 or low or whatever, it doesn't hurt too much when you're controlling the pitcher yourself. Then we got Ariel Hernandez, another starting pitcher for the Reds. His is just a stamina boost, so nothing too much. Emilio Pagan, can't really see anything there. We got Brandon McCarthy for the Dodgers. Really good, solid pitcher. He's been a solid pitcher for a while. His ERA is just under 4. And as you can see in the result, his hits and home runs have gotten better with his Ks dropping a little bit. Not too bad. We see Michael Wacha, one of the better pitchers, or what used to be at least one of the better pitchers in the National League. His stamina is up to an 84, which is nice. His strikes are up, which is solid. I like it. Luis Severino, with the Yankees being devastated by injuries recently, having him jump up to an 85 is nice. There's no drops at all. Home runs and hits went up 4. His stamina went up to an 85, and his K per 9 went up to a 84, which is nice. Now, what I like about that stamina is it's not really a huge jump, but a small amount of points like that could be the difference between pitching a complete 8 innings or 7 and 2/3 or 7 and 1/3. So instead of like throwing in a bullpen arm for like a third of an inning, 2/3 of an inning, you can just go straight to your closer. Bartolo Colon, I just want to say, holy shit, how the fuck does he still have a job? His ERA is almost 9. He's allowed 100 hits and not even 70 innings. Although he's not walking much, which is amazing. Which is why his probably walks are 94. He's 2 and 9. Holy shit! And he actually has a job for the Twins because the Twins are that bad. Oh no, not position players. Next page, we got Randall Delgado improving a little bit. 76 makes him tradable. He's in the minors though, as you can tell by his uniform. Then we have Sonny Gray, one of the biggest trade targets in the majors, going up 2 and 5 respectively. You can see his stats solid throughout the board. His velocity is kind of booty, but he doesn't throw hard, so it's not really that bad. His break is where he gets people, and he has the control to control it enough. His stamina is really good. A freaking 90 stamina and 96 break. This guy could be busting your balls all day. And then you got the standard no moves thing right here. I don't see anybody off the top of my head that actually made a move pitching wise to a different team. Yes, I'm looking. Okay. We got some first drops. We got a drop. Ooh, Phil Hughes. That has to hurt. A big drop in stamina. 14 points. He's in the minors now as well. So he's definitely trade bait, depending on his potential, because potential does definitely determine how valuable someone is in a trade. You got Jose Alvarez going down 2 for whatever reason. Him going down 3. He was Mary Pettit. This just looks like he's going into the bullpen. His stats are actually really good. A 2.72 ERA, a whip barely over 1, 50 strikeouts in almost 50 innings, only 38 hits and 12 walks. And stamina dropped probably just because he got moved to the bullpen. That's not too bad. Same thing with Brian Duensing, a 66 overall, went down probably because he got moved to the bullpen. Brian Johnson, I don't know who he is, even though I'm a Red Sox fan. Doug Fister, how the hell is he rated this highly? I do not know. He is terrible. Still no solid. Yeah, see, look, no solid changes. It's like, what the hell? Real quick. Okay, big drop. Sergio Romo of the Dodgers in the bullpen. Now, this is upsetting because being an 82 overall where he was, he'd be a trade target for me definitely. But seeing his home runs go down kind of disappoints me because I don't know if I'd trade for him knowing he could give up a long ball that's gonna crush my rebuild. Kind of makes me sad. Then you have Giovanni Gallardo. His stamina went down, so it's probably just a bullpen move. Then you have Joe Blanton, a guy who started the MLB The Show 17 roster actually as a free agent. And I remember this because I used to do rebuilds all the time. And he'd be one of really the first pitchers I would sign. But all his stats around the board have dropped 11, 5, 2, and 13. His stamina is still not that good, but it's a relief pitcher, so his stamina is not going to be terribly good. Then the reason why they set it up like that is because where a relief pitcher typically pitches like once 1 to 2 innings every like 3-4 games or whatever. They don't want him to have like monster stamina or else they'd never get tired and you would over abuse that. Which is why if you're creating a custom pitcher, fun fact, if your stamina goes too high, they'll probably move you to a starter. Dustin Fowler, his reaction time went up from 0 to 60. What the hell? How do you go up from 0 to 69? Like, how do they ever put you at 0? That might be a glitch. He doesn't even have any major league stats. But he does become trade bait if he's in the season rosters. Jabari Blash. I love the name. Love it. As you can see, he now becomes usable. It's respectable. His contact versus righties isn't bad. His power versus righties isn't that good. His power versus lefties went up. His vision went down a lot, so probably not someone you want to keep. Probably more of a trade guy. His discipline's a 76, so really solid there. Gerardo Parra went up pretty damn solid. I mean, contact 4 and 6, power 12 and 2, vision 5. That's really good. I mean, the fact that his power is kind of weak is kind of sad, but he's hitting 366 for the Rockies. I mean, he's a 79 overall. There's not a lot of left fielders out there, fun fact, that you can easily trade for that can be above this guy. So if he's cheap enough and he you either are the Rockies or you're wanting to be like, hey Rockies, come here, let me talk to you. His fielding and his arm strength and reaction time are good enough alone that I would deal with that bad bat. And his speed's actually really damn good too. This guy might be my starting left fielder in my next rebuild, which will be up tomorrow, by the way. You have Nick Castellanos, a criminally underrated third baseman for the Tigers, who I feel like could be a target for the Boston Red Sox. Hopefully, we need an improvement. He's actually on my fantasy team as well, so to see his power and contact versus left go up, power by 20, and his power versus right go up by 6, makes me kind of happy. He's not hitting amazing, but 245 with an OPS of 763, I'll take that. I wish he wouldn't strike out so much. I mean, 89 strikeouts and 343 at bats, so that's kind of bad. That's probably why his discipline's only a 50. Then Bryce Harper got buffed. 2 points up to a 96. He's almost in the Mike Trout numbers. Hitting 345 with 25 home runs. Contact versus right up to an 88. Power versus right up to a 96. So if you do run that double right fielder rotation, or you know what, if you have all-stars and you have someone who's like a 90-90 versus lefties, this wouldn't be a bad rotation, at least to give him some rest. You got Vision up to a 62. Obviously, if I was probably controlling the Nationals again, I'd honestly probably trade him because the Nationals are in such a dump when it comes to salary situation when you're doing a rebuild that trading Bryce Harper almost becomes a necessity unless you are willing to sacrifice almost everyone else. Either way. You see Joey Votto, he's up to a 90-90 versus righty. So if you could get Votto and Bryce Harper on the same team, you're going to be dominating right-handed pitchers. 83-72 for lefties isn't that bad, but it does kind of suck when his contact went down. His discipline's almost maxed. His durability's almost maxed. Holy shit. We have Justin Turner, one of the better third basemen in the league. He's like not criminally underrated in the game. His stats are actually pretty noteworthy, but he's criminally underrated in baseball. He's hitting .361. He doesn't have the homers. He doesn't really have the RBIs like most people would that you would look for. But in 244 at-bats, he only has 31 strikeouts. He's really, really consistent. 97 clutch, 92 durability, 95 contact versus right. His contact versus left went up to an 80. His power went up to a 69. Granted, his right power went up down to a 72, but like I said, he doesn't really hit for power. His vision and discipline are still amazing. His fielding and arm strength are solid. If you're doing a rebuild, this guy needs to be your third baseman because he's one of the best and cheapest targets that you can get. Or you can have Anthony Rendon, but when you compare the stats, overall, hitting-wise, Justin Turner is just... They have about the same power, but Justin Turner just knocks it with his right-handed contact. Rendon's still solid improvement to contact and power. Let's go on to the second page here. We have contact versus left for Murphy. Nice. So the Nationals are getting some love with Rendon, Harper, and Murphy. Must be due to the recent performance. Hitting .340. Flying under the radar, honestly, if you think. I haven't really heard anything much about him this year. Up to an 89 and 97 contact. Damn. Then you see some obligatory moves. Plouffe to the Rays. Not even sure if that was a trade. Just looking through this. I don't want to miss anything. You'll see some names repeated because apparently they still haven't fucking fixed that. You know, they could cut off a lot of these pages if they just had people's names show up once. But you know. No. Sean O'Malley. What are you doing, Sean O'Malley? Like, I'm half expecting that at some point one of their stats went down like 1, but they won't show me. Oh, what is this? Not much of a drop for anybody? Josh Donaldson and Yoenis Cespedes, the only ones getting dropped? That's not bad. It is bad when you consider his contact versus righties and power is kind of booty now compared to what it was. But versus lefties, he's doing good. Hitting .292 is respectable. Donaldson, now, and he's a 92 overall, so he's still an amazing player. But the drop from 94 to 92 is not that severe when considering a rebuild. It does kind of hurt his trade value a little bit, but are you really going to be trading Josh Donaldson if you are the Blue Jays? Probably not. He's probably going to be one of your cornerstones. His power went down, but it's only to an 89. His contact still in the high 60s. His vision still in the high 50s. His discipline is almost perfect now. So overall, I'd say it's relatively not disappointing, but okay. I'm okay with it. Oh, this whole roster update, I can understand a lot of it. Granted, I'm surprised some of these players have flown under the radar like they have, but you know, that's to be expected. Joe Blanton hasn't been performing well, so I really like his drop. Romo's been slumping, so I approve his drop quite a bit. Don't know why they gotta pick on this Tyler Jenkins kid. He doesn't even look like he play baseball. Mainly because he doesn't have any stats. Poor minor leaguers. They get bullied all the time in roster updates. Anyway, guys, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you are new. I'll see you guys in the next roster update. I don't know when that will be, but I'll be here.